Sorry, I didn't get sick. All right, so first you just pull up the patient, obviously, right? What you don't look out for is like extra stuff on the models, but the model master will usually cut it off for you. You could edit in here and just go back and edit, but I don't think you need to. So just click on top of here, model builder. Good. So it'll automatically put the models in question there. Hit confirm. Good. And then just follow the steps. So click on the first thing on top. It's going to tell you what part do you want to be printed, right? So for bleaching trays, I need that to be printed. All right, so I'll just color that in. Drop more there. Good. And this one. Good. So everything there is what's going to actually print. So it cuts out by itself everything else. Good. Next. So cut away anything else. We don't need anything else cut away. That lines it up.
Oh, nice.
It makes a base. We don't need a big base here, so I just usually make it as small as possible. The things I click on is to say that's hollow on the bottom. Turn the hollow. It has these drain holes. What that means is when it prints, and it's printing upside down, it leaves holes in the base of it so that extra resin can get out. Infill, this just makes like this kind of shape on the inside. Straight versus, I think the straight is easier to take it off the model, I think.
Yeah.
So I think we make it straight. This is beveling it to turn on, which means that when it's on the printer, it puts a bevel so that you can get an instrument underneath and pop it off more easily. And that's it. And this is if you're doing a single, like a die creation, you're making a crown, you want to one tooth you have to take in and out. Like, you know, in stone models, you can able to do that.
Oh, yeah.
But only if you're doing a single crown, you need to do that. This is if you need to put it to articulate it. We don't need to do that. This is to put their name on it. It's just a good idea so that we know who's who. So basically it's like 2 clicks just telling the outline of where you want it to be. It's going to create the base. I would just put this out of the way. Instead of saying case, I would just put the patient's name, and I would put it Weinberger. Mr. Hershey sounds like the chocolate company.
The chocolate cup.
Yeah, just put it over here. Good. So it's out of the way, but his name is on there, so if the model's ever anywhere else, we know where it is. And you can make it engraved or embossed. Which means this means it's sticking out, this means it's sticking in. You want it in, so it's not leaving extra stuff. Okay, good. And then next. And that's finished, it's made. And choose, we can send these after you're done making the bleach trays to Dimitri, and he can use this to make the flipper.
Oh. Can we?
Otherwise, he'll charge us. No, say he charges to print it. He'll charge us like $25 to print it. Yeah, as he should. I mean, as they should. It costs some money to print. All right, so now we go to pre-shape over here, the little butterfly. We don't want to save it. The last crowns are printed.
You have Punching settings.
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so now we go to back here. We go to export. Just put it in his folder. That was him. Select folder, and then in terms of what files we want, all we need, we already exported his other stuff, all we need is the model base. So click no to everything else except for the model builder. And then export.
Okay.
Supposed to open folder. Didn't. Open a new folder. That's him. Come on. So here we go. So you go extract all, because it makes it a zip folder, that little zipper on it. Extract all just makes it as another folder unzipped. If you're emailing something somewhere, you could send the zip folder, and it's just a smaller file because it's condensed. So when you need to use a file, you have to unzip it. So we'll unzip it, then we go back here to this. Click on that folder, and we put the two models. So say broken model detected, repair. Basically, it means that there's something not fully closed on it. Usually the engraving, it'll just fix it when it puts it on. Do that again. That one was fine. Okay, now how do we lay it out? Two different ways to do it. One is you could have it standing straight up like this, right? The upside with that is it doesn't take up a lot of room, so I could print up a lot of models at once.
Okay.
The downside is it's printing every layer, right? So as it goes, there's a lot more layers,
Yeah.
right? There's about 1,011 layers. If I need it faster, if they're going overnight, it doesn't matter one way or the other. If I want it faster, I have to set oriented. So I go to orient, select a base. Oops, the flat part. Over here. It's not lays them down flat. Okay, now it should be ready to print more or less now, but anywhere where it's red, it's telling me it's unsupported. So sometimes the inside are unsupported, need little supports in there. The two ways to do it. Again, if I'm in a real rush, and it's actually the parts that are in the inside here need support. It's pushing in. So I could just click on supports and say no raft, but anywhere where it's red, like on the inside here, hit edit and just click. I'm putting tiny supports in each spot. That's I see the only annoying part of the name is that.
You actually have to put the supports.
Again, the only thing that might happen is that it wouldn't. Yeah, may as well put a little support in there. And if anything else is red, nothing. So that'll print. You don't need a base. It'll print faster. If you click a base, it's not going to make a whole thing with a bunch of million supports on it. but that's not going to help. This will print just fine. So just hit apply. And done. This one will do the same one. I'm going to edit. See here, it has a little bit in the inside, a little bit of red. So that's because, again, as it prints, layer by layer, the more it sticks out, if it doesn't have a support underneath it, it might not have anyone to grab onto. So, as a patient, she cancels. Not going to be happy. But anywhere it's red, click on supports.
She's back.
Good. Right, else it might be pink or red. And if it's dark red, it's telling you it's not going to print. If it's just a pink, it says it might have a problem, but it's probably going to be fine. Like the outside here is a drop. So again, if this was like for a crown, I wouldn't want to put it in an area where, but for a model, it doesn't matter. Again, I'm just showing you doing all this work only because to get it to print faster. Okay, interestingly, that one, the words didn't need support. Interesting.
That's weird.
Okay. Apply. So that's your fastest way of printing. It'll be ready in 3 hours still.
Wow.
It's on Cronenbridge. Okay, good point. The material that you have in there, you have to tell what material you want to make it out of. So if we print out a Cronenbridge material, it'll cost me about $1,000. So that Cronenbridge material is really expensive. It's going to use the whole thing because it's printing models. But for regular models, we're doing this V3 model, and we have it on layer thickness as 0.1 instead of 0.05. The difference is just how fine the parts are. For a bleaching tray, it makes no difference. For a crown, it makes a difference. So a crown won't even let you do 0.1. It'll only let you do 0.5. Let me just apply and just say import. Basically, it'll change the supports for it. Good. So I went down to 1 hour and 15. One little spot in there under the G.
Can we leave that one?
You can.
Or you have to do it.
No, you don't have it. It'll tell you if it has to. It's doing that now. Yeah, okay, we'll leave that alone. It was otherwise fine. We'll leave it be. Okay, that's that. Here it's a drop red. A couple of spots. I don't know, the whole inside is telling me it's red now. Yeah, we're fine. Okay. Good. And you can lay this out anywhere, but let's say I have more. Let's duplicate this. Right? Let's say I want to have more trays and I want to lay it down. I could put it straight up or on a slight angle. Usually it prints a little better on a slight angle because then the supports aren't on the teeth as much. And then just go to support, raft type, full raft, and hit OK. And it's going to generate supports all the way across. That way you don't have to add in those little supports yourself. It'll do everything for you.
Oh, that's nice.
Right? The difference is it'll just take hours now. But if you're doing it overnight, who cares? And you can look at like how much volume there is, like how many milliliters of material it's using. So sometimes it'll use significantly more by doing it this way because that's to make a whole base, but sometimes it's not a big difference. So whatever is more convenient. But if time's not a factor, do it this way. If time's more of a factor, we'll do it this way.
Okay.
Here, I'm even curious. Let's save this. curiosity. So it's 23.6 milliliters of material. If I
Put that one.
put it this way, and then from 23 to 33. All right, so it's 50% more material to print it this way than the other way. So we'll do it the first way. It's faster and cheaper.
When it's flat.
Yeah. Good. And you can go anywhere on, you could say suggest layout and just hit layout all. So layout button, layout all, and it'll tell you, it kind of puts them together where it can get the most printing done in the least amount of space. So it'll always push it into a corner. Sometimes I'll just put it somewhere towards the middle because it keeps printing the same corner. The plate at that spot can get a little bit worse. So I'm going to put it the far corner here, or one here. And that affects the printing time slightly, but this will print in an hour. Okay, then we go to upload to queue. Then on the machine, we just put the right material. So we use V3. That one also. Take that. What was there?
That's permanent.
That's what I had there
This
before.
is model, no? This model V3. Is that
Yeah,
this
that's
one?
it.
Let's put there.
Drop that in. Clean. This is clean.
It goes just like
Nope,
this.
just the inside part.
Oh, this one.
Just be careful. Let's put it down first. It's easier. So you don't want to touch the bottom. Also with your fingers. This was a laser reads it. Yeah, take them from there. Perfect. And it slides in. And then you have to kind of push it a little stronger than you would think. Yeah, and in here. Beep.
Yep.
That's it. Good.
Nice.
Yes, and then this thing, you're gonna feel here. First feel like there's no resin. Let's see if you feel anything that like sharp or any little bumps or. So I feel like right over here. Feel that? Feel that?
A
No?
little bit. Here. Here.
Yeah, exactly. So anytime I feel any of those, you want to just maintain it that it's not. Oh, that was actually a little bit of resin. I just scraped it off.
Okay.
But something when you're taking it off, it'll put a little divot in there. And those when it's printing, like hit something small, sometimes it can mess up the print. Just hit something small like that. So I feel that there's something not something off from the rough. I take the sandpaper and I'll just give it. You don't want to go in one spot because you want everything to be super flat. So I'll go all over the place a couple of times and then take the alcohol again, clean it off, and then ready to go. But it's fine now. There has to be a little bit of roughness to the thing. If it was smooth as glass, the resin would never stick to it. So it would be a little bit of roughness. That's why that sandpaper is just the right amount of rough and not too rough. Good. So now it just tells it fill plate is clean. And ready to print. And then we go to our queue, our model print. And off we go.
That's it.
Okay, I'll stop this. I'll put it on the chat. Oh, did I not record? No, I did. I'm recording.